My name's Adam Maripas Vox, and this is the Phillips SonicCare FlexCare Platinum Gray Edition. Now that's a mouthful, which is great because this takes care of your mouth. I've been using this electric toothbrush every day, twice a day for a couple weeks now, and it's made a huge difference in how clean my mouth has felt. I can't say it necessarily looks any better, but it definitely feels so much cleaner. I've used other electric toothbrushes in the past, but there's never been anything quite on this level of just premiumness. They've all just kind of moved the toothbrush around really fast in your mouth, which doesn't necessarily do exactly what you need to do. I can do that with a manual toothbrush, and so for a long time now, I've been committed to only using manual toothbrushes because I felt I had a couple particular ones that were my favorite that I felt I could do the best job with. And this has completely replaced that manual toothbrush, and I don't have any intention of going back anytime soon. In terms of feature-wise, yes, I'm talking about features of a toothbrush. It does have a nice little dotted grip on the back here, which given its sheer size compared to a normal toothbrush is actually fairly helpful. It has two different heads that it comes with of two different styles, and what's interesting about these heads is they actually change color to let you know when it's time to replace them. Of course, you should know you should replace them at least every 3 months, but it actually loses the color in the bristles to actually tell you, hey, it's time to change me, which is kind of neat. It has a power button to, of course, start the actual electric process. Then it has a bunch of lights and stuff here. It has a battery indicator at the bottom for your charging to let you know how much battery you have left. You have an up and down rocker for your intensity. It actually has 3 different levels of intensity of how intense the electric brushing process actually is. On top of the fact that it has an automatic smart pressure sensor to tell when you're like brushing really hard on your teeth or brushing on your tongue or your gums or whatever to make sure you don't hurt yourself, basically. Like if you're brushing too hard, it will stop you essentially. So having that rocker is very nice. I personally keep it on the lowest intensity. The highest intensity was a little too much for me. But some people are probably going to prefer it, I can guarantee you that. But I prefer it on the lowest intensity. But then it also has 3 different modes of cleaning as well. It has clean, whitening, and deep clean. Cleaning mode is your day-to-day brushing your teeth. Just when you need to brush your teeth, keep it on cleaning mode. Whitening is to really try to scrub off some of those stains and things like that on your teeth and overall whiten your teeth, which really goes well if you have whitening specific toothpaste like I do. Deep clean is when you really want to spend a long time just cleaning your mouth and making sure you get that deep dentist quality clean, which is exactly what I feel like I get out of this toothbrush. Literally the very first time I brushed my teeth, I was just kind of blown away at how much it felt like I just went to the dentist. Obviously I do my best to keep my mouth as clean as possible with a manual toothbrush, but something about just how well this performs, it really feels like I am going to the dentist. Like it doesn't feel like that when I'm doing it, although the electric toothbrushness does kind of remind me of what they use at the dentist. But the overall lasting cleanliness effect at the end is pretty great. I use this both to clean my tongue because obviously you get gunk on your tongue and that's one of the major causes of bad breath. On my teeth, of course, and on my gums to remove plaque. And like I said, it does have an intelligent sensor of how much pressure to use on top of the intensity level so that I didn't hurt my gums. I have very sensitive gums. I can't do a whole lot of flossing without bleeding out of my gums a lot. And I realize that's some kind of gross details, but I have very, very sensitive gums. And while I do keep it on the lowest sensitivity, I can sit there and brush my gums to help make sure I keep plaque off of it without hurting myself, without even feeling sore, without bleeding, none of that. And that's pretty impressive. I can't do that with a manual toothbrush. I always end up hurting myself. And for the most part, unless I just pick it, stick myself the wrong way, this actually does a really good job on my gums as well. As I mentioned before, it comes with 2 different head styles, so you can pick which one you prefer or just swap it out after 3 months once this one expires until you have to go buy a new one. It comes with the charging base, which plugs into the wall, has a decent, I'd say about 2 to 3 feet cord for charging, probably closer to 2 feet, and then you just set the toothbrush on the base and it starts charging. Now it doesn't have any actual exposed electrical contact points, which means if the toothbrush is wet or you splash water over here, it's not actually going to short out or cause any electrical issues as far as I can tell. It also comes with a travel case which holds the base and your various brush heads in it, which keeps it nice and secure, which is pretty cool. And then the white edition actually comes with a UV sanitizer for the brush or for the heads themselves, which is kind of cool. I have the gray edition, it doesn't come with that, but that's pretty cool to see that they have one that comes with it nonetheless. Overall, I'm fairly impressed with this toothbrush. It has really made my mouth feel like I'm going to the dentist every time I brush my teeth, which is like 2 times a day. And going to the dentist more than once every 6 months is generally a pretty scary prospect. So it's pretty cool to get that level of clean in my mouth, way better than my manual toothbrush could ever do. And having so many different modes and customization options makes it to where I'm always getting the brush that I want out of it. I do hope you enjoyed my review of the Phillips SonicCare FlexCare Platinum Gray Edition toothbrush. Again, that is a mouthful. It really does make my mouth feel like I'm going to the dentist. Now, I do want to mention to you guys, my YouTube viewers, that this was a sponsored video. I did receive this much like the HP printer video I did back in the day, a couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago now. This was a sponsored video that I did for Philips, but then I'm also modifying it to put over here on YouTube as well. But I really am enjoying this toothbrush. But again, this is a sponsored video, so take that as you will. Be sure to smash the like button if you enjoyed it. Dislike the video if you want to see me just throw the toothbrush out the window, which I'm not going to do, but dislike it if you want to see that anyway, just because I'm curious. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome tech reviews and other reviews and things like that. Probably not more toothbrush reviews, but you never know. Comment down below what your favorite toothbrush or feature of a toothbrush is, if you use electric toothbrush, if you've used one before, etc. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. My name has been Adam Vox. Have a great day.